Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Today we're going to show you how to make paella in your home kitchen. Alright, if you can see, we try and use the freshest ingredients possible. We have fresh chicken legs. One of the things I like to do when I'm cooking at home is season the food before I cook it. So I have chicken legs that are just seasoned with salt and pepper. And then over here I have fresh vegetables. I'm going to use red peppers. I'm going to use shallots and white onion. And if you can look, I also have some fresh saffron right here for you. Paella, as you pretty much know it, it's a classical Spanish dish. It incorporates lots of fresh seafood. I have fresh shrimp. I have calamari. I have fresh crab. Also, I'm going to be using sausage. Traditionally, paella consists of chorizo sausage, but I'm going to do a little bit of twist because my favorite sausage happens to be Italian sausage, hot. You can use any type of sausage you would like, but traditional paella does include chorizo. I'm also going to be using a whole fish, which I'm going to fillet for you, which is red snapper. I love red snapper because of its flakiness and of its very, very mild flavor. I'm also going to be incorporating some fresh mussels. I have some fresh clams here as well. I'm also going to be adding some other vegetables like peas, again, some onions, some shallots. I'm going to finish it off with some chopped fresh parsley. And throughout the dish, you'll be able to see me make some of the things, like I'll show you how we're going to sear the chicken. I'll show you how we're going to do the calamari, fillet the fish, and I'll also show you how everything's going to look in the pan and actually when it's finished. All right? So come back in a little bit and I'll have some more for you. So some of the ingredients, like I told you, we're going to be doing is the chicken. Some of the pots and pans you'll probably be needing to use. You're going to need some larger size pots because when you start with paella, it just tends to grow and grow and grow and grow. So I'm going to be using, first I'm going to be using a griddle. Or if you have a flat saute pan, that's fine because that's what I like to sear the chicken with. I like to sear my chicken before I put it in the paella because I love the caramel flavor and color that you're going to get on the chicken. So what I'm going to do, always cook with extra virgin olive oil. Just put a little bit down. You don't need much. Also, when you're cooking, because paella has a lot of ingredients and there's a lot of steps to it, I'm going to be actually starting the chicken, get it searing. I'm going to turn it down to a medium to low flame just to let it caramelize. Then I'm going to go over the fish preparation with you. All right? So just spread out the oil. You know, generally when you see people cooking in restaurants and things, you see that they get their oil temperature very hot. That is good, but when you're at home, that's always not a good idea because you don't have control of the flames or fire that might come up. So I generally try and get my oil not too hot, but enough to where it's going to start sizzling as soon as you put it in the pan. As you can see, again, I'm using chicken legs. I don't like to use chicken breasts because that dries out too much. You can use the thighs, but I prefer chicken legs because it will stay actually very moist throughout the whole entire time you have paella. Okay? So I'm adding the chicken. There's a slight sear. I'm going to probably have to do this chicken in 2 batches because I don't want to overload the pan. So I'm going to start with this much. And one other good thing about cooking, and when you're searing, don't keep moving the chicken. I'm just going to let it sit and sear. When I hear it crackling a lot more, that's when I'm going to turn the flame down. I'm going to actually let it sit here for about 4 or 5 minutes before I even flip it. Okay, so while the chicken is searing, I'm going to go over to and start preparing the red snapper for you, okay? Okay, now we're back. As you can see in front of me, I have a piece of red snapper. This is a 2-pound, 2.5-pound red snapper. All I did was pick this up. You can pick this up from places like Reading Terminal here in Philadelphia, or if you know a very good fishmonger, try and use them to buy fish because you know you're going to get the best quality, and more importantly, you actually get a better price. This, again, is a 2-pound red snapper. I had it scaled, which means removing of the scales, and I've also had it gutted. So this way I don't have to worry about cleaning out the entire inside of the fish. What I've also done is make sure that when I'm doing the fish, I make sure it's completely dry because fish has lots of oil, and when you're actually filleting it, you don't want it to be moving around on the board. So what I did was I've taken both sides of the fish and I just dry it as best as I can, and I actually go inside and get any excess water that's inside there out. Always keep a couple paper towels handy. I prefer not to use like kitchen towels or anything like that because these you can just dispose of very quickly. Actually, I have my little daughter here, which she loves to actually help us in the kitchen. So she's actually going to help us dry off the fish a little bit. Go ahead. Okay, now that it's dry, I generally try and work where I have the fish, the fins, the back fins facing me. Also make sure that your cutting board is completely stable as well, because when you're doing this, you want to be able to not have the fish move. Okay? Now, you're going to have 2 fins right here. Go underneath the 2 fins. Just make a 90-degree cut into the fish. I'm actually at the backbone or at the neck bone. So then I stop right there.